My annual salary at the current age of 26 years old is $105,000. But in reality, that only comes to $2,000 every 2 weeks when I get my paycheck. And if that's all you wanted to know, that's pretty much what this entire video is about, so feel free to click off. But for those that are staying, I'm gonna be sure to also explain all the money that was taken out of my paycheck, line by line breakdown, how that number changed how I think about money, and most importantly, the financial stability system I put in place to ensure that I can build wealth while in my 20s. So my paycheck essentially breaks into 3 key parts. You have your gross pay, your pre-tax and post-tax deductions, and then your employee taxes. Now, when you get your first paycheck, right, you're gonna look at that gross pay number and be super excited. But remember, you gotta start to subtract all those other deductions. So let's dive into my paycheck specifically. So first up, we have the employee taxes. I want you to think of this as your federal withholding, your state tax, your Medicare, and your OASDI. And when it comes to being a resident in Boston, that adds up to almost $1,000 for my bi-weekly paycheck. Remember, we started at $4,300, now taking away around $1,000 for employee taxes, that leaves us with $3,600. And don't worry, we're just getting started. We have to consider now the pre-tax and post-tax deductions. When it comes to your pre-tax deductions, this will consist of your medical, your dental, your vision, and even a health savings account if that's applicable for you. And when you add all that up, that's another $730 that's taken out of my paycheck. It's also important to remember that depending on your circumstance and your lifestyle, your pre-tax deductions won't be this high. Transparently and just being super honest with you guys, I have a high deductible health plan because I also want to have a health savings account. Additionally, I have expensive dental and expensive vision. Like, I chose the best options because growing up, I had braces, and if you can't tell, I also wear glasses, wearing contacts right now, so my vision's also cooked. So for me personally, I just wanted to kind of choose the best plans because I do visit my dentist regularly, and I also do deal with eye problems and getting my eyes checked on a regular basis. Remember, your numbers might be different for the pre-tax deductions, but for me, it's around $730, which means we're now down to $2,660 left for my paycheck. And last but not least, I have ESPP, which is just an employer stock purchase plan, and they take out another $400 from my paycheck. If you work at a public company, more than most likely 2 things will happen. You have an employee stock purchase plan where you're able to purchase stock at a discount, or you have RSUs, which is just restricted stock units, and you'll get this kind of when you first sign on to the company. But again, my company does ESPP, so every paycheck, they take some money out and allow me to buy the company stock at a discount. And after all that, all those deductions, right, I'm left with $2,334.40. Just think about that for a second, right? We started at $4,600 and now we ended around $2,300. And one more caveat here, I didn't even include my 401k contributions because I already maxed out my 401k for the year. But just imagine if you had to contribute to your 401k, more than most likely that $2,300 paycheck might be a little bit smaller. The first thing I did, and the first truth I had to kind of be honest with myself with was like, hey, you're earning a lot of money through corporate America, stay at home. By staying at home, 1, able to stay with family, which I don't know, it's a benefit for me because I love my family. But 2, I don't have to worry about rent. I don't have to worry about groceries and other different bills and expenses. My family come from a Caribbean household, so they're willing to handle those costs for me. Again, I still help them out, but the main thing here is I do not have to pay for rent, which is a huge plus because now I can put that money to work. And now before putting that money to work, I had to come to terms with a second truth. I realized that I won't be working in corporate America forever, which means I have no ambition, no aspiration to become a senior director, a VP, a CEO. So then what does that mean for me in my career? It means I just coast. I show up, I do a good job, I make sure I have no issues with anyone, and I get my stuff done. Will I go above and beyond? Maybe sometimes, but most of the times I won't. And that's okay. I'm able to live in that truth and accept it because I know that I just want to clock in and clock out and keep it at the bare basics. Because when I do clock out, from my 5 to 9, I am solely focused on my side hustle, which as you all know is content creation. If you can't tell by now, right? I'm using that 9 to 5, right? To gain skill sets, exposure, but most importantly, money. My job gives me money. And with that money, I reinvest it. Instead of stocks and other businesses, I reinvest it back into Love's wallet, my content creation on itself, right? So let's step back for a second. When I came to that realization that, hey, I cannot live off $100,000. The future me can't live off $100,000. What did I do? I accepted the harsh truth and decided to stay home. Then I realized I'm just gonna coast at work, get my paychecks, and use that money to fuel my side hustle. But the third and most important thing I did was I created an actual system for my 9-to-5 bi-weekly paychecks. Because even though I'm earning this money for my corporate job, a lot of people fail to realize, and a lot of people mess up this part because they end up spending their money and blowing it on stupid things. So let me show you the financial system, or I guess the wealth building system that I implemented to make sure that when I get paid, my money is being used appropriately and I'm not wasting any time while in my 20s. Every time I get paid, I have a 3-bucket system. That's it, 3 buckets. I have a checking, a saving, and investing. For checking, think of this as your life. It's your rent, your groceries, your gas. This is the money that you're actually allowed to spend guilt-free and not have to worry. Next, we have savings. This is a fixed amount that moves automatically every single other Friday when I get paid. This is essentially my safety net, my emergency fund, and this just goes on in the background because when a rainy day happens, and trust me, a rainy day always happens, I have some money set aside. Last but not least, investing. Another fixed amount automatically every other Friday flows into my brokerage account. Yes, I invest in myself, but I also invest in other businesses because again, I want to make sure every single possible dollar that I have, I want it to be working for me. And what's important about this entire process is I did not mention a percentage. That's for you to determine. If you want to do 80% to checking, 10 to saving, 10 to investing, or 50 to checking and 30 to saving and 20 to investing, that's up to you. The most important thing is the flow, is the process. The percentages and all those things, you determine what makes the most sense for your lifestyle. And what I love about this process is like, I automatically save and I automatically invest. Now, what's ever left in that checking account, right? Whatever's left there, I can enjoy it and don't have to worry about, oh, am I saving enough? Am I investing? Am I planning for my future? And having all these worries because again, that emergency fund and investing in those stocks, those are my backup plan, right? Once I handle my groceries and other things, anything else I have left in that checkings account, I might buy a tripod or I might save up a little bit for a new microphone or a new camera equipment and pour that back into my content creation. I wish I could like screen share my job in like our payment portal, but all you're gonna do is whoever you work for, right? Go into their system where you set up your direct deposits. And what you wanna do is again, add 2 more accounts. Currently, you probably have a checkings account. Next, you wanna add a savings account and then an investment brokerage. Whether it's a fixed amount or a percentage, again, that's up to you, but just set this up and now every other Friday when you get paid, which is every pay period for you, automatically money is flowing into these 3 different accounts and you don't even have to think about where your money is going because it's all automated in the background. Another cool bonus tip here is like, this is a good start. Another thing that I would do and that, I would advise you to do is check your budget every single morning. And I get it, budgets are boring, they're tedious, but when I wake up every morning and check my budget for 3-5 minutes, be like, damn, did I overspend it last weekend? Or damn, how much did I spend yesterday? Okay, cool, I got some money left over today. It just keeps me in mind for the rest of the day so to make sure that like I don't splurge or ball out or I don't eat out because hey, I checked my budget today and I'm not on track or I am on track. So again, just a quick kind of, a big bro tip for you to be in all honesty for you is just every morning when you wake up, just check your budget for a cool 3 to 5 minutes just to assess your financial situation. Also, I do this just to make sure no one's scamming me and stealing money from me. That's also why. When I thought about $100,000 when I was in school, to me, it was the finish line. And I know that sounds like so crazy, but I legit thought like that was the apex, like that's it. And you gotta remember this is coming from someone that's like the first in their family to have a corporate job and all of these things. And it's like, once I get that 100K, I'm good. But once I got that 100K as a job, I realized that, there's no way I can live like this if I want to live the future life that I want. And what I realized is I got to take advantage of this $100,000 and be grateful for it and be appreciative of it and do the most I can do with this and legit treat it like a hustler and go flip it. How can I make this $100,000 be worth more for me in the next 5-10 years? And I'm not saying that to say, I need to invest all of it, but hey, how can I take this opportunity and use it to my advantage? And I think that's what's important. And that's what I want to get across in this video is like, hey, whether you're making $50,000, $80,000, $100,000, more than most likely, you're always going to want more. And that's okay. You should always want more for yourself, you have to take a step back and ask yourself, how can I use what I have now? If it's $50,000, $80,000, or $100,000, how can I use that money right now to set myself up for future success? And man, oh man, it's been paying off. And I'm happy that I've been thinking about my money like that. Because again, when I got that first paycheck, I like deadass was thinking I was gonna get like $4,000. It's so funny to me just thinking about that because I didn't even consider taxes and all these other deductions. But once I hit that harsh truth and that harsh reality, like, yo, you only getting 2,000, bro. Something in me just flipped, or like the switch just flipped, and it's like, yo, I need to figure out how to make this work and make more again, because for the future life that I want to live, it's not enough. So again, what I would say to anyone out there who's waiting for their $100,000, their $200,000 salary, or salary, just go online and just look up what that salary is actually worth in terms of your bi-weekly, weekly, or monthly paycheck, just so you can start setting a reality, or start setting your expectations on the money you will bring in, and then determine, hey, does this make sense for my life, or am I going to need more, or should I figure out another avenue to create more money? As always, appreciate the love, support I get on all these videos. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, but also for this one, I want you to share it with someone, because again, the young me would love a video like this because I really thought $100,000 meant the world to me. As always, love your wallet because it'll love you back. Peace.